students, I welcome you to the science video session of Standard 5. Today we are going to learn our second unit water lesson. W-A-T-E-R, water. Water is a transparent, colorless chemical substance with one oxygen atom covalently bond with two hydrogen atoms. Water is cycled continuously on earth through evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation and other means. All living things need water for their survival. Water is used for their variety of purposes. Water dominates the surface of earth and is vital to all life on a planet. All plants and animals must have water to survive. If there was no water, there would be no life on earth. Come on students, let's learn some new words and their meanings.
E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N, evaporation. Evaporation is the process in which water is changed into water vapor by the heat of the sun is called evaporation. So what is evaporation, students? The process in which water is changed into water vapor by the heat of the sun is called evaporation. Condensation. C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N, condensation. The process in which water vapor is converted into water on cooling is called condensation. The process in which water vapor is converted into water on cooling is called condensation. Atmosphere. A-T-M-O-S-P-H-E-R-E. Atmosphere means the envelope of gases surrounding the earth or another planet. The envelope of gases surrounding the earth or another planet.
Thiruvalluvar says,
நீர் இன்று அமையாது உலகினில் யார் யாருக்கும் வான் இன்று அமையாது ஒழுக்கு. What is the meaning for this Quran means, if it be said that the duties of life cannot be discharged by any person without water. So, without rain, there cannot be the flowing of water. நீர் இன்று அமையாது உலகெனில் யார் யாருக்கும் வான் இன்று அமையாது ஒழுக்கு by திருவள்ளுவர்.
we cannot survive without water. Water was once available in the nature freely. Now it is sold in the shops for money. Water has become scarce nowadays. So, we should preserve it for our basic needs and also for the needs of future generation. In this lesson, we will study about the sources of water, how to manage water, how it is polluted, how the polluted water causes diseases. Come on students, let's learn about water resources. Water is very essential for living beings. In ancient days, our civilization developed on the river banks, lakes and shores of seas. Different villages and cities were developed on the banks of the rivers. The Ganges, the Godavari and the Krishna are some example. For example, Delhi nearby Jamuna and Kolkata nearby Hooghly. Cultivation was taken up by the help of tanks and wells when no rivers and lakes were available. We cannot drink river water as it is. So, water is supplied to big towns and cities from nearby rivers and projects through pipeline. Water is not only needed for drinking but also essential for the crops to be grown. Rain is the main source of cultivation. Wet crops like paddy, sugarcane and wheat are cultivated. Dry crops like green grams, red grams and cottons are also cultivated. We are also producing electricity by fixing a generator or turbines in the flowing water. See students, in the dam a turbine is fixed in the flowing water. Turbine generator a moving fluid such as water, steam, combustion gases to air pushes a series of blades mounted on a shaft which rotates the shaft connected to a generator. Come on students, let's learn about measures of liquid. We measure liquids like water, milk, kerosene, groundnut oil, coconut oil, etc. Standard measuring jars are used to measure liquids. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. Students, do you know our earth is also known as blue planet? Water can exist in 3 states of matter. Water can exist as solid, liquid and gas. So we can see water in solid form in the form of ice, snow and frost. Liquid form we can see water in river, lakes, ponds, seas and water from the tap. Gaseous form. Water vapor is the gaseous form of water that is invisible. Students, you will be surprised to know our human body is made up of 2/3 of water. Come on students, let's learn about uses of water in human being. So water plays a very critical role. It regulates body temperature. It carries nutrients through the body. It improves digestion. It eliminates the waste from the body. Students, have you ever wondered where does all the water in the rain come from? Well, there is always a certain amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. It comes from the earth's surface water like river, lake, ocean, etc. Through the process known as evaporation. Evaporation means the process of converting liquid into its vapor state by the sun's heat. Higher in the atmosphere, water vapor cool down and form clouds. This is called condensation. When the water molecules in the clouds begin to collect, they form bigger molecules and fall down as rain, snow and hail depending upon the temperature. This is called precipitation. Finally, the water reaches the water body and gets collected there. You can see water is constantly cycling from land to air and come back to land again. This is known as water cycle. Therefore, kids, water on our earth will never come to an end. Importance of water. Water is used in agricultural and farming fields. It has wide uses in household and domestic purposes. We use water to drink. We We have trades through water. Come on students, let's learn about the sources of water. S-O-U-R-C-E-S, sources of, O-F of, water. W-A-T-E-R, water. Water is the most abundant substance on the earth. It fills the seas, rivers and lakes. Water covers more than 2/3 of the earth's surface. It also exists as snow and ice on mountains. In the atmosphere, water is present in huge quantities as vapor and clouds. The following are the sources of water. First one, river water and lake water. Second one, sea water. Third, well water. Fourth, spring water. Fifth, underground water. Come on students, let's learn about the sources of water in detail. River water and lake water. See the students, you can see the pictures of the river. River. A river is a naturally flowing water course, usually fresh water flowing towards an ocean, sea, lake or another river. In some cases, a river flows into the ground and becomes dry at the end of course without reaching another body of water. River is a channel through which fresh water flows. The origin of river is usually hills or mountains. It flows towards lakes, seas and ocean. Lake is an area filled with water. See students, this is a lake. L-A-K-E. A lake is a large body of water within a body of land. Some lakes are very big. Lakes do not flow like rivers, but many have rivers flowing into and out of them. Students, what are the uses of these lakes? Lakes are important as they give us benefit such as providing water, food for human water support to purify ecosystem. Stream. S-T-R-E-A-M. Stream. A stream is a body of water with surface water flowing within the bed and banks of a canal. Man-made lakes created when dam is built on a river is called reservoir. Small areas filled with water are called ponds. See students, this is pond, an area of water that is smaller than a lake. Other words used to denote pond are waterhole or whale. It may arise naturally in floodplains as part of a river system or be somewhat isolated depression. Uses of ponds. Ponds provide water for agriculture and livestock. Serve as fish hatcheries. Pond may store thermal energy and solar ponds treat wastewater as treatment ponds. Ponds may be freshwater, salt water or brackish. Rivers, streams, groundwater, rainfall, melting snows or a combination of these are the sources of water in lakes, reservoirs and ponds. As less amount of salt is dissolved in it, it is suitable for drinking and irrigation. Come on students, let's learn about the uses of rivers. Humans use rivers for irrigation in agriculture, for drinking, for transportation, to produce electricity through hydroelectric dams and for leisure activities like swimming and bathing. Students, do you know in India there are more than 400 rivers. Indus is the longest river in India. Its length is 2,900 km. In the world, the biggest river is the Nile River. It is 4,132 miles. In India, the 7 major rivers are Indus, Brahmaputra, Narmada, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Tapti. Just like water poured from a tilted tray flows from the higher end to the lower end, water flows from higher land to lower land. Water flowing through a long distance is called a river. Sea water. Look at the picture, students. You can see the sea. Sea water has salinity of approximately 3.5% or 35 parts per thousand. This means that every 1000 ml of sea water contains 35 grams of salt, sodium chloride dissolved in it. Salt. Due to the presence of more amount of salt, sea water is called saline water. It is not suitable for irrigation as well as drinking. Underground water. During rainfall, part of the rainwater gets absorbed in the soil. It flows through various layers of the soil till it reaches hard rock. When it gets accumulated to form reservoir, this reservoir of water is the underground water. This water may contain soluble salts of calcium and magnesium. Underground water is made available for human use either as well water or as spring water. Underground water is free from suspended impurities because it is filtered by nature as it passes through several layers of the soil. A reservoir is a man-made large freshwater body of water. The dam controls the amount of water that flows out of the reservoir. Reservoirs include humans, animals and the environment. Well water. Students, do you have well in your house? What is well water? When the earth's surface is dug deep, water reservoirs are found above the rocks. The depth of a well varies from place to place. Well water contains soluble impurities depending upon the nature of the soil. See students, this is a well. Spring water. Sometimes the accumulated underground water applies pressure on the rocks and comes out of the earth's surface in the form of a spring from any available opening. The water is called spring water. Spring water usually contains dissolved salts and minerals, but it is free from suspended impurities. Come on students, let's learn about water cycle. See the picture students, you can see the water cycle. What is water cycle? Continuous movement of water from the earth to the atmosphere and back to the earth is known as water cycle or hydrologic cycle. Water cycle consists of the following 4 stages. First one is evaporation. E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N, evaporation. The process in which water is changed into water vapor by the heat of the sun is called evaporation. See students, now you are seeing the process of evaporation. The process in which water is changed into water vapor by heat is called evaporation. It takes place on the surface of rivers, oceans, lakes and ponds. Plants also release water by transpiration. 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 Transpiration is the process of water passing out from the surface of a plant or leaf. Students, let's do this activity to check the process of transpiration. We have to take one polythene cover like this. Inside the cover we have to put one plant part and then we have to tie it. So what is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of water movement through a plant and its evaporation from aerial parts such as leaves, stems and flowers. Water is necessary for plants, but only a small amount of water is taken up by the roots is used for growth and metabolism. The remaining 97 to 99.5% is lost by transpiration. You wait and see, students, after 2 to 3 days what happens in this polythene cover. Students, after 2 to 3 days you can see water droplets like this. The loss of excess water from the plant is known as transpiration. Condensation. C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Condensation. The process in which water vapor is converted into water on cooling is called condensation. See, students, you can see the water. The process in which water vapor is converted into water on cooling is called condensation. See, students, on the plate you can able to see water droplets. This water droplets has been formed by condensation. Water vapor in the atmosphere, being lighter, rises up and cools down. It further condenses to form tiny water droplets. Come on, students, let's do one activity. Take half of glass of water. Clean the outside part of the glass. Now we have to add few ice cubes and leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. We have to add ice cubes. See what happens, students. You will observe water appearing outside the glass. This is because the water vapor in the air condenses on the cold surface of the glass. Precipitation. The water droplets join together to form clouds. As they get cooler, the droplets become bigger and heavier and fall as rain. If the air is very cold, they freeze to fall as hail of snow. Hail. H-A-I-L. Hail means pellets of frozen rain which fall in showers from cumulonimbus clouds. Flowing back to ocean. Rainwater forms streams and springs which join together to form rivers. Rivers flow finally into the sea and ocean, thereby completing the cycle. Students, do you know in freezing condition, water falling from the sky becomes snow or hail. Hailstones are nothing but balls of ice. See, student, this is paddy field. What is needed for this paddy to grow? Water, sunlight, etc. Agriculture is the source of our living. It uses most of the world's freshwater resources. Consumes around 70% of the available fresh water. Water management. About 97.5% of total water available on the earth is too salty to be used for drinking and irrigation. The rest 2.5% of water is fresh water. Most of the fresh water, that is 68.7% of the total fresh water, is frozen as ice caps and glaciers, and 30.1% occurs as groundwater. Out of the remaining 1.2% of water, about 0.9% occurs as moisture in soil, air and in bodies of living organisms. The rest 0.3% constitutes freshwater surface sources such as rivers and lakes. By this it is clear that a very small fraction of water is available for the use of human beings, animals and plants. Today we learn about rivers, lakes, seas, spring water, groundwater, water cycle, water management. Thank you, students.